Welcome back to the channel, guys. Just want to say thank you very much for clicking on the video. We want to try and scale this thing to the moon. So what I want to ask you for is just a quick 10 seconds of your time. Can you hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell, and obviously leave a little cheeky like as well, because it will help the channel grow. It means I can create some fantastic content for you and we can just start pushing out pure value. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the MacBook just here, and I'm going to walk you through how to set up your sales script for all of your sales calls. Let's get into it. Hi guys, so we are inside of the computer. So what I want to walk through with you today is how to sell using a sales script. Now, firstly, I want to preface this with a very unpopular opinion, and that opinion is you don't need a sales script. Effectively, what we're going to be doing with these prospects is just having a conversation. So from one business owner to another, you want to find out some information about their business and just see if you have a service that can help them. And obviously, that sort of service is probably going to be Facebook ads predominantly, but it could be Google ads, it could be web design, it could be content creation, it could be a plethora of things, email marketing, etc. So the only way that you're going to know how you can help these people is by having a really in-depth, frank conversation with them. And by doing that, you'll be able to find out what their problems are, what their pain points are, how they've got on in the past with marketing, what their ad budgets are, what their lifetime value of a customer is, how much they're currently spending to acquire a customer, all of these things. But you can only find that out by having a conversation. Now, when I started out, I found it extremely difficult to try and concentrate on a script while trying to have a conversation with these people and actually listen to what it is they're telling me. Because you're not actually listening to them. You're actually waiting just for the next question. It just doesn't flow, and it feels really forced, and effectively they get the wrong vibe about you and they're not going to sign up anyways. So my personal opinion, and like I said, it is a unpopular opinion, is that you don't need a sales script. What you need is a sales framework. This will allow you to have a bit more freedom. It will let you ask some questions. It will let you veer off a little bit. But ultimately, the main goal of everything within the framework is to just navigate down the straight line, as Jordan Belfort would have it, and end up with the sale. But if you do it too structured and you're constantly looking at a script and you're looking at what do I say next and what comes next, it's just going to throw you off. So this is the best way that I found, especially for beginners, to get started, because it just doesn't create too much complications within the discovery call. So let's get into it. So like I said, when you have a discovery call with a prospect, you don't need to be worrying about the latest sales techniques. You literally are just having a conversation from one business owner to another, just to see if you can effectively help them. Now, instead of sticking with a sales script, we want to work with a framework. Now, that's what I'm going to give you here. And if you hit the link below in the description, you will be taken to the Facebook group where you can get this resource for free. So you can structure your own sales script. So the ultimate sales framework. Now, what you want to do is you want to start with a little bit of small talks, bit of pleasantries, just to break the ice and, get to know each other a little bit. So if they're in a different country, ask them what the weather's like, ask them where they're based, ask them if they said they did something at the weekend, that sort of thing. Just a little bit, 5 minutes of back and forth just to get to know them, and just, be a human about it. Not everyone just jumps straight into business, because no one really trusts people that don't have a human side. People buy from people. So effectively, if it was yourself and another agency owner, they're going to go with the person that they prefer if you're providing the exact same service. So like I said, you don't want to kiss ass and all of that stuff, but you do want to try and, just find some familiarities between the two of you, anything that you might have in common, some interests and that sort of stuff. So just spend 5 minutes having a quick chat. Then you want to try and transition into the business. So say, look, the way that these things usually work is, I want to ask you lots of in-depth sort of personal questions about your business. I know it may sound a little intrusive, but I need to know the hard tacks and the brass tacks about it and the facts. so that I can see if I can help you, because there's no point me promising you the world if we don't know what we're working with, to get started with. And that is generally true. You need to know the figures. You need to know how much it costs them to acquire a client, how much are they spending on ads, how much are they willing to spend on ads, can they even afford to invest into their business, have they got professional photos done? There's so many things that you need to ask in order to find out if you can help them, because you may come to the end of the discovery phase and find out that actually they're not as qualified as you thought they were, based on the details and the tax of it. So you really want to ask the in-depth questions and just pre-warn them that it may be a little bit uncomfortable, but you need to know these to know if you can help them. So I've listed here just a few questions that you are going to want to ask. Obviously you'll have your own qualifying questions dependent on the service that you're providing and what it is that you originally reached out to them for. But these are just a few of the ones that I personally use, dependent on the situation. So you've got things like, ask them why they accepted the meeting. This just pre-frames them as to qualifying themselves to you. They'll tell you outright what it is that they were looking for when they said yes to this meeting and why they turned up in the first place, which is immensely powerful for you so that you know where you're starting at, and it's sort of like a guiding line. And then you want to walk through, what strategy are they currently using? What systems do they have in place to generate new business currently? What are their best sellers if you're doing e-com, or what if you're doing local restaurants, what are their most popular nights? What nights aren't as quite as popular and they want to try and fill? Because these are all things that you can start putting into a little proposal in your mind of how you will sell your service to them. Obviously, like I said, what your best sellers are. What's stopping them from resolving the issues themselves? This is a powerful one as well, because it shows them that they need help, and that you are then going to position yourself as the person that can provide that help and bridge the gap between where they are currently and where they want to be. And then obviously you can move into more technical things of the monetary stuff, saying, what's the lifetime value of a customer? If it's a restaurant, do they come back and repeat? If it's a gym, do you do a year's membership as a minimum? That sort of, so that you can then suggest, if I'm going to bring in a lead for £10 a head and they have a lifetime value of £300 because it's a gym membership, you're effectively making £290 on every single lead that I bring you that you close. So, it just starts to put some figures in their mind so they can see the distance between where they are now and where they are going to be, or where they want to be, just start to bridge with the methods that you're going to suggest in your strategies. Now, like I said, all of these questions need to be asked in order to qualify the prospect in that first discovery phase. What you'll find is if you don't qualify the prospect correctly, you will end up losing the client. You'll end up getting a lot of headaches because they're investing money into a service that isn't right for them. The service that you suggest may not be the best service for them. So you might offer Google ads when effectively all they need is Facebook ads and Instagram ads, because that's where their main target is. So you're not going to know that without asking these questions. So you really need to qualify them correctly in order to offer them the very best service. So moving on to step 2 is you want to show them a similar business in their niche that's already doing what it is that you want them to do. So if it's fitness, for instance, you want to show them someone like Alphalete or someone like Gymshark, people who are already at the top of their game, producing fantastic content, who are producing fantastic products. They're putting it in front of their ideal customers, and they are already running fantastic ads. It shows them where they could be. Again, we're bridging that gap. So where are they now to where they want to be? And where they want to be is up with these kinds of brands. You don't get into business just wanting to be mediocre. You want to be the very best at what you do. And everyone's business is their baby. They're going to want to, they're going to think that their business is the best. They're going to think their product is a fantastic quality, great, value for money, all of that stuff. And the only way that we can do that is by showing them, well, we agree with you. This is where you could be, but this is where you are. I can help you get there. So step 3 is then talking to them about the cost of not doing business with you, and how this will negatively affect their business and their brand. So what's going to happen if they don't start investing into their marketing? They're going to get left behind. They're going to have trouble, generating revenue. They're not going to be able to be at the height of their game. They're not going to be considered industry leaders. They're not going to be able to help the people that they want to help. They're not going to reach the people they want to reach. These are all things that you need to bring up with them and just show them, hey, look, there's obviously a reason why you took this meeting with me. It's obviously because you want to be in a place that you aren't currently, and I can help you get there. But if you don't start investing in your business, this is where you're going to stay. And you have to really tug on that heartstring and just increase the pain of that, of staying where they are, because obviously no business owner wants to stay exactly where they are. Right, so next step is number 4, and you want to explain to them how you can solve their problems with the solutions that you are offering. So how can you solve their pain points with your service? So Facebook ads, Google ads, email marketing, content creation, content management, all of these things are services that you can offer as an agency. Web design, for instance. How can you use those services to get them to where they want to be? You want to list down everything that you think that they need and then put it into a package for them and say, look, I can do this and this and this for you. It'll improve in this way, this way, and this way. You want to address their pain points and give them a solution, because effectively they're not going to understand it if you just go, yeah, we can do that, that's fine. Take each pain point and then provide a solution for it and explain why that service is going to be the thing that solves their problem. So what you want to do next is you want to try and obviously bring it into the close. Now, once you ask them all of these questions, ask them if they have any questions for you. This will give you a chance to see where their head is at, and also it will be your point to do some objection handling if they have any. If they do, you want to handle each objection as it comes up. And again, circle back round to the service that you've offered them that will solve that problem. And then ask them for the close again, because if you just say, oh, okay, don't worry, if they say no, you're going to lose that sale. Not everyone is sitting there saying, I'm absolutely not going to do it. What they're usually saying is, I either don't trust you, or I don't believe that the service that you're offering me can solve my problems, which means you have to do more work. You have to get in there and you have to reiterate the benefits and also the emotional and internal benefits of doing business with you, and how your service can solve these problems. Effectively, sometimes people will say no, and that is it. There is just no way of getting around it. But you want to try and objection handle and reiterate that the solution that you're offering is the only key to getting to where they want to be, because that's how you're going to make these sales. You can't, if you just walk away from them, you're going to lose them. But like I said, you don't want to be pushy, and if you genuinely don't think you can help the business, walk away, or recommend them to someone who can help you and take a kickback off of that. Get paid for the lead, or whoever it is that you send them to. But there are always ways around it, but never give up just by saying, okay, that's fine, thanks for your time, because you'll lose the lead completely. Now let's go to what happens next. So say they've said, great, fantastic, I love your service, I love what you're offering, get on really well with you. How much is your service? This is really key. Make sure that you say your price, your monthly retainer, and then stay quiet. It's an age-old rule that whoever speaks first loses. Everybody knows that in sales. You say your price and you stop. Do not justify it. Do not talk around it. Do not try and hide it. Say your price with confidence and then stop. Whoever speaks first loses. Now, if they ask you how much ad spend you recommend or anything over the top of that, that's fine. Just say, I advise X amount, and then go quiet again and wait for them to give you the decision. Because this is where you'll find more objections. This is where they'll really tell you what the problem is, or they'll sugarcoat it and they'll say, I need to talk to my business partner, my wife, I need to speak with whoever. And then you can, again, deal with the objection and circle back round. There are only so many objections that you can handle, obviously, which we'll cover in another video, but you have to try. You have to keep pushing for it and circle back and just reiterate why your solution is the best. Now, with a bit of practice, you'll get used to this. And I think this framework just really helps you just get out of that, really strict, rigid sales cycle, and puts you in a frame of mind for just a conversation to see if you can help. But obviously, objection handling is part of the process. It's going to happen. You're just going to have to get proficient with it. But the more you do it, the more you will understand your product, your service, how much you understand your message, the more confidence you get, this stuff will start coming naturally to you. So that's it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you hit the link in the description below, you'll get taken to the Facebook group that's free. Just answer the 3 questions to get in and you'll be allowed access. And this will be sitting within the Facebook group where you can get access to this for free and download it and use it for your sales calls. So thank you very much for watching today, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.